a presentation tonight just because I'm going to be going back and forth through a couple different websites. But tonight I'm going to do some training on Instagram and Periscope. And can you guys hear me okay? My internet connection kind of sucks. Okay. So we're going to go over Instagram and Periscope. First, I wanted to give you guys some reminders. Like we already talked about, 22-minute hardcore is out. It's not too late to talk about it, even if you haven't talked about it yet. Start putting that seed in people's ears. Also, if you guys didn't see March's specials, Monica posted them on Sunday or whatever day that was, as well as if you hit Success Club in March, then you will get, if you live in the United States, you'll get a free sample pack of the performance line. If you live in Canada, then you'll get shareware that talks about the performance line. So just kind of an incentive to hit Success Club this month and to make sure that you're pushing hard at the beginning of the month. Okay, so for Instagram, the first thing that I always tell all my coaches is the first thing you need to do before you jump to any kind of social media, no matter what it is consistency. So no matter what platform it is that you're using, you have to make sure that you're posting at least 4 to 5 times, which we all know this, whether it's about fitness, nutrition, your family, your cats, whatever it is that you're interested in, make sure that you're posting at least 4 to 5 times a day, just so that you're relevant and people will continue to see you. And for those of you who are super busy and have crazy lives, I know me and Monica talk about it all the time, schedule out your posts. It is a lifesaver. I know that I usually schedule out my posts on my like page, especially because it's super easy to do. I can sit down for like 30 minutes and plan out my entire week's worth of schedules. And then also make sure that you're really good at one thing before you jump to the next. There's no point in trying to do 5 different social media platforms if you're not consistent with one. So there's no point in overwhelming yourself or hopping back and forth between things. Make sure that you're consistent to start with, and that will help you be successful. The next thing is, what are you comfortable with? So everybody's going to be completely different. I know that my husband uses different social media platforms differently than I do. And one of them is Instagram. And I wish he could be on this call, but he's at work. But he is like the king of Instagram. He has a ridiculous amount of followers and people that are actually very interactive on his page. Almost every time he posts something, he has like at least 4 to 5, if not 20 to 30 people who are commenting on what he's posting, which is awesome because obviously, the more people that are seeing, the more people are going to see it. But just so for those of you who don't know, there are tons of different platforms that people are using for Beachbody. There's Facebook, there's Pinterest, which I've kind of been dabbling in, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope. There's tons of different things. So find what works for you and then go with that. So kind of to start off with your Instagram, your profile needs to have a purpose. So kind of like we talk about with your Facebook page, your profile picture should be a picture that, you know, stands out with people, that it's unique, it's eye-catching, and make sure that it's something that kind of shows what it is that you're doing. So I think mine right now is a before and after picture, or just make sure it's a good headshot of yourself. Don't have a group picture with a bunch of people, because then they're not going to know who you are, what you're talking about, things like that. Same thing with your name. A lot of people are gonna, if you have something that says fitness related or mom or cat lover or something, then they're gonna kind of already know what you're about before you even do anything. So like mine is Mama J, because that's what everyone calls me, and then it's Fit Family of 5, and that's because that's my brand. Me and Leon do all of our fitness stuff together through Fit Family of 5 on our Facebook as well as our Instagram. So that's kind of what our thing is. So kind of figure out what sounds good for you, what fits you well, and then go from that. And then same thing with your description. Make sure that your description has something in it, whether it's, you know, nutrition guru or, you know, clean eating, fitness something, whatever it is.
Hey, hold on real quick. I was going to say you're echoing really fast.
Okay. Oh, but whatever it is, make sure that you, I don't know about you guys, but when new people follow me on Instagram, the first thing that I look at is what their description is of what they do or kind of what they're into. The next thing, the biggest thing for Instagram for you to be successful is going to be your hashtag. And I've always been a person who hates hashtags. They drove me crazy until I learned more about them and how they work. So basically on Instagram, you can hashtag up to 30 hashtags on one image. And every time that you post a picture on Instagram, you should max out those hashtags. So every time you should post 30 hashtags with your picture in order to have the most people see what it is that you're posting, or more people, be able to find you. And yes, I know that sounds crazy. No, I don't expect you to type up 30 hashtags every time you post something. What you should do is figure out what your hashtags are going to be and save them on a note on your phone. Can you hear me, Monica? I see your crazy face over there.
Tags for like. Have you tried that?
Yes. But what? Yeah. But what I would do is I would save mine in my phone. So like, I'll kind of explain to you in a second about how to go through what kind of hashtags to use. But basically, all of my hashtags I use, I have saved on my notes on my phone. And one thing that I've learned from some Shalene Johnson Instagram trainings is don't put your hashtags with your description of your picture. Put them in your first comment of your picture. So post your picture first, then go back and comment on your picture with all of your hashtags. Because then it's already going to show that someone commented on it, and then when people click those hashtags, then it's going to pull them up straight to your picture. Let's see. And then also, depending on what you're posting, like I have different types of hashtags that I use depending on, if I'm posting something about Tristan, if I'm posting something more church related, things like that, just so that my hashtags will kind of correlate all the different areas of what I'm talking about into that one picture. Another thing that I've learned is to use the 5-3-1 rule. So anytime that you're looking for people that you want to follow, what you should do is the first thing you should do is to like 5 of their pictures. And even if it's just the first 5 pictures that you see on their page, or if you want to scroll and look for different ones that you're interested in, like 5 of them. Then comment, kind of getting to know more about. And the reason behind that is if when you're looking at your Instagram, when you get notifications, you're gonna look at who liked your pictures. And I know that's the first thing I do. And especially if someone likes multiple of my pictures, I'm not really worried about what picture they like. I'm more worried about, okay, they liked multiple pictures. Let me go see who this person is. So as soon as you do that, then they're automatically going to go look at your page. And then if you have good content on your page and you're showing them what you're interested in, and that you're doing fitness things, or you're posting about your kids or things like that, and they like it, then they're going to follow you as well. And then obviously once they follow you, then that's kind of where you're going to start building relationships with them. Hang on, sorry. Let me pull up my Instagram actually. Another thing that I didn't even know that this was a possibility, and I'm not sure how I can do this on my computer, but let me see if I can find it. Okay, so this is kind of my Instagram page. I have videos from our workouts today, a picture talking about that we did our workout. I talked about, like I did a picture of Casey's cup about really wanting to eat pizza. Talked a little bit about the coaching aspect, and then if you go down, stuff about my kids in the playroom and things like that. So I don't always post things about fitness. I also incorporate my family or our hospital stays, things like that, because those are things that people, want to learn about. And then everyone normally doesn't get on your computer for Instagram, so this looks different than if you're on your phone. But if you go to your phone, at the very bottom, there is a little search symbol. So if you click that, it doesn't work the same on the computer. But if you click that search symbol, it's going to bring up a bunch of other pictures, and those pictures are all going to be people that you're not following, but things that are recommended to you. So kind of like on Facebook, how they have the recommended friends page, it's kind of the same thing. So if you click the search bar and then you click explore posts, it'll take you to all these different people who look like they would fit your type of people that you like. So the more you're liking fitness things or health food things, then those type of people are going to be what pops up on that search engine. And the cool thing about that is then you're open to a whole nother group of people that you can take 20 minutes to sit down and, look at their page. Do they eat healthy, or do they have kids, or do they have something that matches you? And then like some of their pictures, comment on a couple of them, and then add them as a friend. And then eventually they're going to come back and follow you as well. So that's a good way to start building the amount of followers that you have. And then you can start building rapport with them. And I actually really worked on this for the last week. And I had a lady instantly was like, hey, we have so many things in common. You know, what church do you go to? And ask me a bunch of questions about things. So that's a really good way to get to know people, and it really doesn't take that much time. And this also isn't something where you have to go send like invites to them. It's going to be more of, you know, get to know them as followers, and then eventually you can send them a message, or, you know, spam on Facebook his random posts. He doesn't ever post anything about challenge groups or anything, but just from his fitness posts, people will be like, oh, you guys look awesome. What are you doing? Blah, 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 and he gets friends that way. Let's see. Okay, so this is something that I learned from Shalene Johnson, which this is going to kind of sound crazy at first when I talk to you about this, but I'm going to try it out, and I'll let you guys all know how it works. So one thing that she said in her Instagram training is that you should never have just one Instagram. You should always have at least two, if not more. And the reason behind that is everything that you're interested in, if you break it up separately, then that increases you to a whole nother realm of followers. So like, I'm interested in like Pinterest projects. I do all kinds of like crafting and things like that. So I could start an Instagram page that has nothing to do with fitness, and honestly nothing to do with me, but all just about, you know, posting different crafts that I like off Pinterest, or, you know, different things that I could do around my house. And then build a whole following that way, and then I'd have a whole nother realm of people who would still fit in my niche market, because I could still be having, you know, moms who are doing stuff for their kids' bedrooms or things like that. And then start building relationships off of those as well. So I might, I think I'm all going to have in butt workouts, and then I'm also going to do something. So I'll let you guys know how that goes, and if I'm able to get some good relationships off that. You can always put in your description to go and follow you at your main Instagram page or at your Facebook page to kind of tie them back to your original page, so that they're kind of linked together somehow. And in those groups, she said all you have to do is post at least once a day, and then spend about 10 to 20 minutes just interacting with people who have commented. So anytime someone comments on your picture, make sure you respond back to them. And the cool thing about those ones is if you're doing like projects or fun things, people always tag their friends in those kind of things. So then that opens you up to a whole nother set of people because they're tagging their friends in it. Let's see. Okay, so the next thing is Instagram. I'm not sure how many of you have heard of Instagram, but sorry, I need to get to it. There we go. Okay, so Instagram is a really cool app that you can use that actually does likes and comments on Instagram for your account. And it's super easy to use. And I just started mine back up. I reset it earlier this afternoon, but you get for free. And the good thing about it is you can stop it and start it whenever you want. So right here, you can hit stop, and then your time freezes. So it's not 2 calendar days, it's just a total of 2 24-hour periods. And how this works is basically this program, you log into it through your Instagram, and you can set it up to where it will like other people's pictures or comment on their pictures. And it all goes off of hashtags. So if we scroll down a little bit, there are different things that how you can change the settings on it, and there's like how you have these top filters. What I go down to is the advanced filters, and I change out the maximums to whatever the max can be. So like the max amount of comments that you want to comment on of people's is if they have less than 50 comments on their picture, then I want to comment on as well. And the reason why that is because we don't want it to go comment on all of the top really popular pages, because then everyone's commenting on it. They're not going to see it anyways. We really want, you know, the moms who have 500 friends and things like that, because those are going to be people who fit into our niche market. And then same thing, the amount of followers. So it won't comment on anyone's page who has more than 1,000 followers unless I change that max setting. But this is kind of how it gets started. There's a section of comments. And these are going to be your comments that we posted on people's pictures. So it starts off with like, cool, okay, rad, like all kinds of crazy random things. So you want to really delete all of them and just put a couple that could fit on any type of picture. Because the worst thing that you do is have a weird comment that does not fit whatever it is that they have posted on their page. So I always do love it or wow, love it, because I say love it in a lot of things anyway. So that's something I would say naturally. And that's something that's kind of a freebie. It's not anything crazy that's not going to fit. But then if you scroll down to tags, this is going to be the big thing. So these are all going to be hashtags. And you want to make sure that you don't do super generic hashtags like, first off, don't do anything Beachbody, Shakeology, fitness coach, nothing like that, because that's just going to bring people to other fitness coaches and other Beachbody coaches. You want them to all kind of fit you. And so some of the different things like new start, fresh start, fit family, fit baby. A lot of people just have like baby, baby girl, Texas mom, mama boys, things like that. Some of the ones that I like to do are, I have Weight Watchers fam, and that's because it doesn't link me to all the main Weight Watchers people, but it does link to other people who are doing Weight Watchers, because sometimes things don't work for those people, and we're here to help pick them up and help them throughout their programs. Also, since I'm a PIO instructor, I have a lot of yoga ones on here, since they're kind of related, and there are a lot of yoga moms that are super fit and would be great coaches that have just never really thought about this kind of thing. Same thing, there are tons of running moms. I can't tell you how many people I've seen on here that have amazing. That's a good one to look into. And then obviously I have lots of them for like short bowel syndrome, interest in things, just because I can relate to those kind of people. And, we kind of have the same type of lifestyle. There's also a lot of people do ones that are related to your location. So I have a lot of like Casey Fit Mom, Casey Fit Family, things like that. So you want to do it by your location, things you're interested in. And then a good way to know what hashtags work are going to be what Monica said. What is it called again, Monica?
Tags for
what is the website called again?
It's an app.
There you go. Tags for
likes. And you can like type in any sort of, like you could type in health and fitness, and it's going to pull up like 30 different hashtags that like clean eating, diet, healthy living. It's going to pull those up for you, and you just hit copy and paste, and then paste them into the comments like Jill said earlier. So you're not actually having to go through and type up 20 million different hashtags.
Yep.
What was it called?
Tags.
And then once you do this, you basically...
I'll put it in the page.
all of your settings, wherever, you basically just hit start here, and then it starts running your time. And you can set it to where it'll stop after an hour or after 3 hours. And then I usually do it for like hour or 2 hour increments, because then I have time to go back through and see who's liking my stuff back and stuff like that. But it gives you a tally of how many people have done this. So I've been running this for maybe like 20 minutes, and it's already like 21 people's pictures and commented on 4 of them. And then at the end of it, it'll give me a report of how many people added me as friends and things like that, so that I kind of know how it's working and if it's working, kind of thing. And if you have any questions about that, I can kind of go. I used to use it a lot more than I do now, and I kind of want to get a little bit more into it. The next thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is Periscope. So I've never used Periscope, but I've done a lot of research on it, and I actually really like it. And actually, I think that it would be something good for me on, since I'm making videos and talking to people live. And the great thing about Periscope is that it's going to be a program that's going to teach you, or teach people more about you personally. So how Periscope works is it's attached to Twitter, and it's all live. So, sorry. Basically, you're going to start up a live chat, and it's going to be about a certain topic. So whether it's about clean eating or whatever your topic is. I've seen fitness coaches even talk about how they do their hairstyle because people ask them about it, kind of thing. But you basically start a live chat, and people, if they follow you on Twitter, then they get a notification that says this person is having a live chat right now. So then they'll go and log into your live chat, and as soon as other people pop up, it's kind of like a video chat. And you get notifications of who else popping up. People can comment and ask you questions. So it's very interactive, And basically you can have like a whole like webinar or, like a coach sneak peek even right there on the spot with people live. So the good thing about it is there's no editing, so people get the raw version of you. If you mess up, you mess up, and that's fine because then people know that you're imperfect. Most people don't see the 20 times that we redid our video before we post it on Facebook. But if you use Periscope, then they see that, which is fine because people are perfectly fine if you're not perfect. Because I know I don't want to follow someone who gets it right every single time because I know I don't. I suck at life sometimes, and I'm fine with listening to someone else who sucks at life sometimes. But another good thing is it's really fast and quick. You can build relationships with people, and I know me and a couple of my coaches have really been working on getting back to having phone conversations instead of Facebook conversations, things like that. Because when someone is talking live with you, they get to know you a lot faster than through a Facebook chat that goes on for a week before you can send them an invite kind of thing. Plus, if you think about it, once somebody trusts you, then they're a lot more likely to spend money on you. So people are going to be a lot more likely to buy something from you if they trust you, and that's a faster way of doing that. Let's see. Okay, so a couple of tips that I have for you guys for any kind of social media platform, basically, is first one is to make yourself valuable. So obviously there are tons of Beachbody coaches out there. I know that you guys follow them, I follow them, and even if we don't, they pop up on our newsfeed constantly. So what you need to do is figure out who you're trying to be valuable for. So obviously we always talk about finding your niche market. And how can you help that person reach their end goal? So all these people that you're trying to talk to, what is their end goal? And if it's to lose weight, how are you going to help them keep that weight off once they lose it? And that's what you need to start focusing on. So a good way of focusing on that is posting people who are on our team who have lost weight and made a complete lifestyle change out of it. If you have a challenger who is super successful, and even after they've done 2 rounds of 21-day fix, they're still keeping their weight off and they're still working out, post about that. Because that's what people really want to know. There's always all these quick fixes out there, but then how you can actually help them keep that goal and have it be lasting. Because that's the biggest issue nowadays is that's usually not what's going on. People in a month after they stop doing their program kind of thing. Also, study different trends. So if you are focusing on Facebook or a like page, things like that, do research on it. It's constantly changing. The rules, the options, everything changes all the time. So make sure that you're doing your research so that you know what else you could be doing to help affect your audience in a better way. Also, if you want to be a professional in this area, there's nothing wrong with being a little bit more educated. So study different body types. Everyone's body type is going to have different successes with different things. Same thing with different conditions. We have tons of people on our team who have had diabetes or is it PCOS that Monica has? Just different things. People have them on our team. So if you know someone has had something that's been affected by or that has affected their weight loss journey, ask them about it so that when you have someone who has the same issue, you already have knowledge about it. That can't hurt anything at all. Also, same thing, workout styles. If people have knee injuries, that you know what you can offer to them. Beginning out above another Beachbody coach because you know more about it and you want to know more about it and you want to help them personally with their own personal goals. Also, to be yourself because there's no one else who is going to be like you. You don't need to try to be different. You are different. None of us are the same. We all live our lives completely differently. Even if we have some similarities, we're not the same person, and that's perfectly fine. But that's also what you need to share with people because that's going to be what people can relate to. And then also, same thing, you are what makes your brand. So when you are thinking about what your brand is, think about who you are and what kind of people you want to lead. And think about who you want to work with, especially on your coaching team. Because obviously, if you don't like someone, you're not going to want to invite them on their team. So make sure you think about the type of person that you want to work with or that will blend well with your team, and then really start focusing on those type of people. That's all I got, guys.
I'm going to add to that real quick because I had it laying right here, coincidentally. When Jill's talking about, speaking to your niche and talking to your ideal person. Well, if you have not gone to the Persevere planner and pulled out the ideal customer, go through and create your avatar. Figure out what your person is that you're talking to, you know, what their struggles are, who they are, what their education is like. And every post that you make should be directed as if you're talking to that person. Because the more that you talk to that person, the more you're going to attract that person. And so that's why I say planning is key, and figuring out what your niche market is so that you know what it is that you're trying to attract. Because if you're just kind of going, I just need to post, I just need to post, I just need to post, but you don't really know who you're posting to, and you're seeing the trend along the lines of, well, I'm not really getting anyone, or my challengers, you know, aren't really diving in. You want to attract, like attracts like. So you want to start attracting those that are, you know, like you, in the sense that they're go-getters, they're in here, they have a passion for their program, they want to see success. You know, whatever it is that you're passionate about. Some coaches have even gone so far to like create an avatar on the computer, like what she looks like, her hair color, you know, her eye color, how tall she is, because that again is going to make you, you know, appeal to them even more when you're talking to them. So, Jill, that was awesome, and I even picked up on some things that I didn't know as well, because y'all know Instagram is my. So I'm super excited to really ramp it up and put some things into play with this. We've got about 5 minutes left. I'm going to stop recording.